Welcome everybody, and today we're taking a look at a new 4K release from StudioCanal as part of their Cult Classics line, and it is 1970s The Man Who Haunted Himself. So this is directed by Basil Dearden in his final directorial role, directorial effort even. And yeah, I've seen 9 other films from him. Other favourites would be the likes of Dead of Night, The League of Gentlemen, Life for Ruth, The Ship That Died of Shame, and The Bells Go Down. So this is a psychological thriller, clocking in at 94 minutes long. Stars Roger Moore, who's obviously more well known than anything else for his 7 James Bond films that he did. Favourite of those 7 would be The Spy Who Loved Me, for me personally. But he also did a really rather good Shout at the Devil, The Wild Geese, and the entertaining, if albeit slight, The Cannonball Run. Also stars Anton Rogers, who was in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Olga Georges-Picot, who was in Farewell Friend and The Day of the Jackal. And finally, Freddie Jones, who had also had a stint in Hammer horror films with the likes of Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed and The Satanic Rites of Dracula, but he was also really good in the likes of Juggernaut and Firestarter. So Harold Pelham is a partner in a large electronics firm, ultimately finds himself in some bewildering circumstances after recovering from a near fatal car accident. A strange force seems to be reshaping his life. Why does he renounce his high business principles? Why does Julie, an attractive girl he has only seen the once, claim such an intimate relationship? And why is he no longer his safe and careful self? So this is based on the 1957 novel The Strange Case of Mr. Pelham by Anthony Armstrong. Although it's not the first adaptation, since the book itself was an expanded version of a 1940 short story. But the other notable version that would be made into an episode of a Alfred Hitchcock Presents episode, which was originally aired on December 4th, 1955, under the title The Case of Mr. Pelham, which was also directed by Hitchcock himself, one of only 17 TV episodes he'd actually direct. So, unlike some though, I've never been one to dismiss Roger Moore as an actor, and this film is a great showcase for his acting talent. The rest of the cast is also good. It is well paced, manages to be predominantly engrossing. It nails the whole split personality part to its plot, being some form or another of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The score is well done. It has a couple of well executed scenes involving speeding cars, one of which is a Rover P5B with the 3.5 litre Rover V8 in it, and the other is a Lamborghini Azzurro S, which is one of Lamborghini's fastest cars of the time. Both cars I'd love to see in a future Forza game at some point, getting away from films there, but yeah, both are excellent cars and ones that I really enjoy seeing on the screen. And though it isn't entirely filled with surprises, it does at least end on a satisfying, albeit slightly ambiguous ending. So yeah, overall a really good effort. This definitely matches the best of Roger Moore's non-James Bond efforts like Shout at the Devil and the Wild Geese, and gets a 4 out of 5. So yeah, this isn't the first time we've had this film on a physical release, as Imprint back in 2024 released this on Blu-ray as well. Now there are obviously some slight differences. There's different artwork, not just on the slipcover, but also on the actual case itself. I really like the slipcover artwork. Not too much of a fan of the the case artwork though. But I do also prefer the slipcover to the new artwork that the StudioCanal one has going for it. Really doesn't say anything, to be honest, about the film. Doesn't really grab your attention. So that is a little bit of a letdown. But there is the disc itself as well. We also get, as a physical extra, we get a few, what do they call it, art cards, or, yeah, art cards, exclusive to this limited edition release. So they all have a title on the back. So minor spoilers for the film through these, so you are warned. So this is actually 3 years before Roger Moore would star in James Bond for the first time in Live and Let Die. Funnily enough, James Bond is actually referenced in a certain line in the film, which I find a little bit of a weird coincidence. But then again, he kind of was tapped to be James Bond before Live and Let Die. But I think his TV series, The Saint, got in the way of his ability to actually star in those films. But the 4K itself looks pretty damn good, to be honest. It's yeah, it's on a 2160p Ultra HD, LPCM 2.0 mono audio, English soundtrack with subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. It's in the 175:1 aspect ratio. It's region free, and yeah, in color. Um, don't think it says anything about the restoration, to be honest. But there are some extras here, one of which is new, and that is Reflections on a Cult Classic, an interview with Kavok Malikain. Then you've also got Masters of Horror, Joe Dante and Stuart Gordon on The Man Who Haunted Himself, which is also a extra on the imprint release, I believe. Just trying to read up on it. No, weirdly enough. So why is that not a new one either? If this one was, not really sure. Then you've also got an audio commentary by authors Jonathan Rigby and Kevin Lyons. Now that was an extra on this imprint release. And then you got The Man Who Became a Friend, Gareth Owen on Sir Roger Moore, which is also on this imprint release. And there's also The Men Who Were Haunted featurette, which again is also a extra on this release, which is an interview with actor Freddie Jones and production crew. And then you've got storyboards, image galleries, a music suite of Michael J. Lewis's original score and theatrical trailer as well. So we got the theatrical trailer, the isolated score, and the image gallery also on this imprint release as well. What we don't get on the new StudioCanal release, though, is the audio commentary by Roger Moore and uncredited writer-producer Brian Forbes, moderated by journalist Jonathan Softcott. We don't get the Alfred Hitchcock Presents The Case of Mr. Pelham episode of the series based on the original short story, which is what we get on here. We also don't get Roger Moore, A Matter of Class documentary, and we also don't get the miniature reproduction of the film's original press book. So it is kind of weird that we don't get the extras that were on here, because this is also via StudioCanal. It's just, released by imprint themselves. So a little bit weird that the extras aren't as full as they are on this 4K limited edition release, especially considering obviously being on 4K, it is more expensive. But nonetheless, the 4K itself looks pretty good. I wouldn't say it's, essential, to be honest. The Blu-ray from imprint looks perfectly fine. This probably does look better, but my eyes aren't the best to really pick up on that fine detail, to be honest. But still, it looks and sounds pretty good, and yeah, the film itself is really, really great. And obviously, that imprint release was from Australia, so you had to import it. So this being more widely available on Blu-ray and 4K, there is a separate Blu-ray release to this one as well. Is only a good thing as well. So yeah, get out there and see it if you haven't already, as it is well worth seeing, and it might well, if you've got a less than positive view of Roger Moore as an actor, then you might well come around to seeing him being much more versatile in this film, which I do think he is. I think he's really, really good in this. It's definitely one of his best performances, quite frankly. So yeah, but nonetheless, if you have seen The Man Who Haunted Himself, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.